Hassan Piker runs and hides because communism would not survive an encounter with the far right. It just wouldn't.
I'm sorry, what? Did he just say communism would not survive an encounter with the far right? Hold on. Wait a minute.
That's enough. You handsome devil. Stick you in a frock. I'd fucking ride you around myself.
I will take that as a compliment.
Yeah, don't. Right. What's a war hero got to do? Get some lubrication around here.
What the fuck's this guy talking about, dude? Communism would not survive an interaction with the far right? Scoreboard, bitch. What the fuck do you mean communism would not survive an interaction with the far right? Is this guy such a Holocaust denier that he just like denies that World War II even happened? Is that what we're doing now? That's crazy. It's odd.
All that sentimentalism, all that sappy, bleeding heart bullshit about free healthcare. Okay.
No, we gotta, the moment is clear. You gotta sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You gotta get one of those like Has al Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive, Let him fight. Whatever the fuck his name is. What is it? The Albanian dude? Communism would not survive an altercation with the far right. It's crazy. Yeah, he's never heard of a guy named Joe Stalin. Here, let's watch more. I got another one too, yeah. Yeah, this too. Another communism surviving an altercation with the far right. Look at that.
What happened to your friend? Hey, I know that guy. I killed him. He cried like a pig.
I just feel like throughout history, there has been many altercations such as the one that Nick Fuentes is trying to ahistorically present, where communism has actively and very successfully taken out the far right. Whether it be Vietnam, Mao in China, whether it be the USSR against Nazi Germany, whether it be Fidel and Che Guevara in Cuba. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about?
We'll give you free health care too. I don't really care that much. I want to close the borders. I want to stop being harassed on the train. I want to be able to live in most of the city and not have to be a war zone. I don't want to have our country run by an Israeli fifth column, a Jewish fifth column. You would not survive that encounter, and you know that. And Hassan knows that if there were ever a dialogue, an ongoing dialogue, or even just a sit down, that whole fantasy, this bourgeois fucking champagne socialism would not survive an encounter with an actual real American. With an actual real American.
Dog, I'm Turkish. You're Hispanic. We're both American. Our existence on U.S. soil contradicts the fundamental argument that you're presenting. What are you talking about? What the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? You would not survive, he says, from his mom's basement. I know.
That's a son of working class people. And that's like the delicious and rich irony is that Hassan is a Nepo baby. He's a
once again, he's a Nepo baby. Brother, my perspective, my worldview would, if what you're saying is correct, would place me as a class traitor. You, on the other hand, are advocating for erasure of yourself. You're Hispanic, and you are advocating for the destruction of yourself, the removal of yourself from U.S. soil.
Millionaire Nepo baby who's on all the mainstream platforms. How did he get his start in media? His uncle. And this is a guy lecturing us about generational wealth. Why don't we redistribute the Young Turks media opportunities? How about...
Okay, fine.
We redistribute...
Doesn't seem like that would put a dent in the system, but once again, normally he has better arguments. Like when he's duking it out with Charlie Kirk, he can present a better argument because he can showcase that Charlie Kirk is actually, because he is the logical extension of like the advocacy that Charlie Kirk engages in. The reason why the likes of Charlie Kirk fear someone like Nick Fuentes is because it shows that Charlie Kirk is fraudulent, right? He is seen as more real. But when he comes after someone like myself, he has to desperately fling shit in the same way that like fucking Destiny criticizes me over. I don't know if they engaged in information sharing. I know they shared other things. Maybe they talked about their mutual hatred of someone such as myself while Nick Fuentes' dick was in Destiny's mouth. Who knows? Who knows? After a little bit of chicken and waffles, they did it over pillow talk, I think.
Distribute the Twitch subscriptions. So, you know, as long as
I like that the line of attack against me is always the same. Doesn't matter.
he's going to sit there and take shots from over there, yeah, inside of that woke fantasy.
Also, it is kind of funny because the one thing that Nick Fuentes can always present himself in order to showcase his like infallibility, his like moral authority on the subject matter, is the fact that, you know, he's been debanked or he's been attacked and this and that. Like, you know, these institutions have come after him. The ADL talks more about me than they do about you, dumbass. The fucking Zionist groups in this country and newspapers that work alongside Hasbara initiatives write extensively demanding my deplatforming. You supported Donald Trump. Donald Trump's own Customs and Border Patrol detained me for my opinions on Israel. So he can't even hit me on the he's not sincere about his advocacy for the Palestinians line of attack. So he just has to go back to this dumb shit like, oh, he's rich, but a socialist. That's it. That's it.
Land. They'll all be very confident in their ideology. But the reason that they don't want me to talk to Jimmy Dore, the reason they're screaming, he's a Nazi, but he said this, but he said that. Let him talk. We can talk.
Would he be allowed to put dildos in his butt in the world that he wants to live in? No, of course not. It's just the only counter narrative in this situation that he can apply. The only line of attack he can apply is like, oh, you're a bad guy. You're a hypocrite. You're rich but socialist. He knows that that's not a real line of attack anyway. You know, he can't do it. He's got nothing. So he says the exact same shit that like annoying fucking liberals say. Someone's a bitch to pure blood. But yeah, New York Times profiled Nick Fuentes as a growing threat to Trumpism includes this telling detail. I think the way that the New York Times is presenting Nick Fuentes as a growing threat to Trumpism is perhaps one of the most damaging things that they could have done in terms of like beefing up a white nationalist movement. I remember all the way back in 2016 when they wrote a glaring profile of Richard Spencer in a similar vein. I criticized it extensively. And the New York Times is back to its old fucking tricks, you know? Classic. Incredible stuff. It's crazy that they're just like trying to prop him up. He's flip-flopped on his positions over and over again. Okay? He has not changed. He is still a Nazi. As a matter of fact, the real reason he doesn't like you, you're not anti-Semitic, you don't talk about the Jews. Left,
these guys are just like fucking defective at this point.
Hassan Piker finally worked up the courage to invoke Nick's name today. Fuentes responds by spending 6 minutes destroying the far left. These guys are just fucking defective at this point.
I don't even think they know why they do what they do, you know? And the reason that the far left is threatened by me is because I'm better than them. I'm going to take their market share. And you want to know why? Because I can talk about Jews. I can talk about black people. I can talk about trannies. I'm not beholden to a crowd of nut jobs that just can't talk about basic reality. You go on the far left, and some of the things I say appeal to them, like about Gaza and like about Israel and so on. But on the far left, you can't talk about Judaism.
What the fuck? I think he just means like, yeah, he's saying that like Israel is doing everything it's doing for Judaism, and it's the international Jewish conspiracy that it's like international Jewish control. Like, oh yeah, dude, you are more successful, I guess, in your own estimation. It's not real, but in your mind, because you can make up conspiracies that are not correct. That's it. Screen caps that shit with Jews in his hand. I mean, it's just like that. Yeah, mad that the left won't invoke the Talmud. The reason why he's doing this is because he's worried.
You don't think that the far-right Jewish extremists in Israel like Meir Kahane, who said that all non-Jews should be enslaved or killed. You don't think that has something to do with what's happening there? You don't think that
Wait, that's so funny. Yeah, dude, he's the same as you, dumbass. That's it. Yeah, the reason why I hate Meir Kahane and Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir is because they are you. They're you, but the Jewish version of you. That's it. Yeah, they're fucking Nazis, just like you are. A complete false sense of ethnic or religious superiority that they believe. That's the point. That's all this is. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Man, he got a fucking glaring profile on the New York Times. Shut the fuck up, okay? There's a reason why I didn't talk about Nick Fuentes for a very long time, because it was an irrelevant Nazi. He is now moving away from being an irrelevant Nazi to actually becoming a very relevant Nazi. Do you see this? A glowing profile. Sorry, not glaring. What are you talking about? It's the same reason why I addressed it the other day, because he's like gaining a lot of prominence among dumb fuck people who are not Nazis themselves and don't realize that he also is a dumb fuck Nazi. Yes, but please, will you ever stop fighting with the pigs? Man, this country is run by fucking pigs. Shut the fuck up. This country is run by pigs. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Just like hope they go away? By wish that they just fucking go away? What are we doing? As is the case with like people like Sex Pestany, they just don't go away. There's a point that you have to like try and combat it. How do they not know after listening to him for more than a minute that he's a Nazi? Because people don't listen for a whole minute. Nobody listens for a whole minute. I brought this up in my video, on my YouTube video, that's been brigaded by his fans like nonstop. There are those like Candace Owens, there are those like Nick Fuentes out there whose fan bases operate in the exact same way that like my haters operate. But instead of like clipping it, my haters operate in this way where they clip me out of context and then they blast it everywhere, right? His fan base does the exact same thing. They clip him out of context to make him seem like he has a very palatable approach to issues that a lot of people agree on. And the most nefarious aspect of this is that because there is already an existing party within the duopoly that we have that reflects the far-right neo-Nazi style sentiment in its policy making, in its agenda openly, that he can just masquerade this position as though it's just common sense. What is the difference between someone like Nick Fuentes and Fox News when Fox News yesterday was talking about how, you know, we really got to take a closer look at the real issue of interracial violence? Like they're just straight up doing the same shit. Sorry, Hassan, Zionism is a Jewish problem. It's not up to Muslims or Christians to fight. It's up to the Jewish people. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. Nazism is a German problem. It's just up to the Germans to fight against Nazism. Shut the fuck up. It's everybody's problem, dumbass. Everybody has to fight against it. And also, once again, the most robust, coordinated support for Zionism outside of American Jews comes from the evangelical Christian Zionist movement in this country. Okay? And they do have the numbers as opposed to Zionist Jews. This isn't to say that like a significant percentage of American Jews are not Zionist, but there are not that many Jews. There's just, you know, not that many Jews in general. There are a lot of evangelical Christians, however, and they're all super fucking pro-Israel. The notion that this is not a problem, the notion that this is not a problem that everybody else has to fucking deal with is so stupid. Look at his logs. This guy's a Nazi. What? He didn't say anything else. Tip her, bro. I can see them on my Insta. Why are you guys saying this? Look at his logs. This guy's a Nazi. What is this? This is your...
I can't tell you, like, every person in my family, when I came back for Thanksgiving, on both sides of my family were like, am I getting a bloody... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Anyway, let's move on from this. All right.